Welcome back. Now we are going to be talking about logging meetings and trainings. So these meetings can be one-on-one with people or can be with a group of people, not necessarily assigned to an individual contact. But all of these things will be concerning the calendar. So we're going to go to the calendar next. So as I talked about before, and as you can see here, you have all these different calendar entries, and these colors correspond with different people entering things in their own calendar. New event is right here, and event pertains to training or a meeting. It can be either one. And it's going to be much like entering a contact, except for instead of a contact, you're just entering in an event or a training. So you're going to, when you get into your calendar, you're going to click New Event. And as you can see here, you have 3 choices: meetings, an event or a booth, or a training. So a meeting is going to be like a school meeting with a parent and a group of other professionals. A meeting could be a board meeting. It could be a community meeting. It could be with a collaborating agency where you're brainstorming ideas. It can be all sorts of things here. An event or a booth is going to be, say we go to some sort of conference or convention, or perhaps it's like a fun run or something and we have an information booth there. This is where you're going to click that. And then for trainings, this is specifically when you are training a group of people, either through our own agency or sponsored by another agency representing our Community Parent Resource Center. And it's also when we have one-on-one training with a parent or a professional, and it takes a substantial amount of time. It's not like you can count something as a training when you talk to somebody for 20 minutes about it. I think we've widely discussed that a training with one person, with another parent, will only count if you've been talking to them for over 45 minutes about it, 30 to 45 minutes, and it's a substantial, almost full-size training that you would give if you were in a group of people. It's just more tailored to them. But for this example, let's go ahead and do meeting. And then as you can see here, you have another form to fill out. It already auto-fills your name right here because you're the one putting it in your own calendar. Now, if it's concerning a specific parent, this is where you are going to click here. We'll show you your most recent contacts, or you can start searching contacts. So if I wanted Mary whoever, I could start typing it and I'll most likely see it here. If I don't see it here, I can press enter or click this and it will show me the entire list. But for this purposes, we're just going to say that it was a meeting, that school meeting we were talking about with Sarah Thomas, okay? If it was just a meeting with a bunch of other professionals, we didn't have any contacts to attach to it, you would just leave this blank. For this meeting, I will say it was an IEP meeting or annual review, whatever you think whatever it might be. Like I said, feel free to be descriptive, but not too wordy. Here, if it was an all-day event, you would click here, like if it was a conference that lasted all day or something, but it's not. We'll just say it's October 1st at 10 a.m. And then the end time here, a lot of times people won't adjust this because they don't keep track of how long it actually was. But if you do keep track of it, please put it here, and then location of where it was. That's more so for you to remember, since you'll be doing a lot of meetings. Remember where it was. And then if we're doing in a meeting with a collaborating agency, so say that we were working with, I don't know, ADA or Department of Health or something like that, where they had a representing person there and we were working together for some reason. Even if there's other people here, if there's a main collaborating agency, I would go ahead and put them there. Like I already explained that. And then how contact was made, this is going to always be in person because you're doing a meeting. The type of meeting here, we have several different choices. I would select IEP meeting for this, but if none of these fit what you're doing, go ahead and put other. So let me do IEP meeting. Visit type is if there was an additional component to the meeting. I wouldn't really worry about this if it's something that's already explained up here. If this was a home visit meeting, you would click this checkbox. If you didn't want other people to know about this on the calendar, you would select private. I think this is for mostly if you're putting in like an appointment or something. That's a personal thing. It will just show you as busy, but not really give details. And then as this time, you can show what this time is going to be. So either you're out of the office, you're going to be busy, so you won't need interruptions, or maybe it's something that you're doing, but you don't really mind if people come in or not. Then you can select free, but we'll just say out of office. So we'll put the location as main ASN office or something like that, or coffee shop or whatever. This additional information is mostly about who is attending this meeting. So this is helpful for us to know who all we're interacting with. The first part right here is if this parent brings their child to their own IEP meeting, if they're considered a self-advocate. Anytime you're involving the kid or teenager in their own meetings and things like that, they're going to be considered self-advocate. So you can go ahead and click mark that. You would just write a number of like how many professionals are present. We'll just say like 5. And then specifically, if there were any foster care, juvenile justice professionals, you would separate those out. Parents, we'll just say 1 because the mother was there. If there's any foster parent there. If there are other family members, so we'll just say like she brought her mother or something like that. She wanted extra support. And then self-advocates, it's the same. This shows that if there's any outside self-advocates, maybe, so perhaps they had a friend that wanted to come support them or whatever. So just think of who's in the meeting and then tally mark it and then put it in there. Here's where you're going to describe things that happened in the meeting. I know that some of us use an iPad at the meeting and take notes that way. Some do like paper, but whatever it is, you're just gonna write a description here so that whoever looks at this account, Sarah's account, later will know what happened in that meeting. And then of course the language that it was presented in. And then you'll press save. And then you'll see right here, this is mine. This is my color right here. And right here it shows what I have. So if I click on this, it's going to show me the expanded version of that. Because when you're looking at just the calendar, it just gives you a very short, if you hover your mouse over it, gives you a very short amount of details. But you can always click on more details, edit, or delete. Now if you click on that and then you click on Sarah Thomas, it will take you back to her contact record. But now you can see right here that it's showing the IEP meeting that I just entered. If I wouldn't have included her name on that at the top, it would not show up in her account. So it's very important if you're going to a specific person's, going to a meeting with a specific person, that you make sure that parent name or professional name is in there. That way it shows up on their account. Okay, I'm going to go back to calendar. And now we're going to go back to new event, and we're going to go to trainings. Because meetings and trainings, we're going to do far more than events or booths. All right, here's the trainings form to fill out. It's very similar to meetings. Let's just say I did an iPad training. You might do parent advocacy, you might do IEP trainings, all sorts of things. And so with this, again, if it's an all-day event right here, then you would click it, or you put the date and time right here. Location. Let's say it's at the JTL shop. If you presented with anyone, you need to put it here. Whether it is another coworker, let's see, let's say I did this with Patricia, and maybe we were collaborating with CCA, so I'm going to put that in there too. Choose how you want your time to show up as. Training type, there's a list here. I would choose assistive tech for this training. There's all sorts of different ones, and then of course we always have other at the bottom. Language presented in English. And then right here, how many parents were trained? Let's say 10. Professionals, let's say 2 were there. No self-advocates. And then choose whether it's an in-person training or a web audio training. We're only doing web and audio now, so until this virus kicks it. But in the future, in person or web and audio. And then if we do have that collaborating agency again, you put CCA there. If CCA was sponsoring but they didn't actually present with me, I just put Patricia up there. And then here's the description again. Whatever you want to say about that training, if anything, go ahead and do that here. If you want to attach this training to a specific person, where it'd be 1 parent trains and then 0, 0 over here, then you would type their name right here. But since it was to multiple people, just press save and don't put anything right there. So as you can see right here, you click it and it shows you that training, and it will show up in trainings. And then the last thing is the events and booths. So I go to new event, click on events or booths. You can say what the subject would be, what the event was. So we'll say, for an example, Arkan Salsa Fest is a place that we have had a booth before. We'll say it's an all-day event. If you want it private, you can click that, but you shouldn't need to. Pick the day. Shouldn't be attached to a contact usually if it's a festival or a convention. Location, let's say fairgrounds or something like that. Here we would be collaborating with one community. So they're the ones that usually put this on. What do you want your time to show us? And then so down here, under other information, you have professionals, parents, and self-advocates. This is just going to be an estimation, like your time during being there. People that walk by, ask questions, take information, you'll just count as a tick mark. We have sign-in sheets so they can also provide further information if they want us to contact them. Otherwise, we just keep track and estimation tick marks of how many people come by, and that's the numbers you will put in here. So let's say like 50 people, professionals, 100, 5. And then right here, if you want to enter any further details about it, you can. Press save. So as you can see, all of our stuff that we plan, I left as October 1st, and it all showed up right here. This is extremely helpful because it will help you keep track of what you've done in the past, but also will help keep our data collection going. Another thing I should mention about the calendar is that you can change the calendar view. So if you click this little icon right here next to the refresh, you can choose day, week, month, or availability. And that will just show who's available at what times. But you could also do a daily, I prefer, or a table view. I prefer to do as regular calendar and by month because it suits my schedule better. Anyway, that's all that has to do with the events and the calendar, and I'll see you in the next video.